What's up, Internet? My name's Ori. It is Saturday, July 25th, day number 19 inside the Big Brother house. Nominations were today. Backdoor plans could be in motion, and the power has been unleashed. Is it rigged? Let's talk about that plus all the intel, drama, and more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. We do daily live feed updates here all season long. First thing in the morning. You're not going to want to miss out on a thing. Normally, we do these live streams on a Friday, but we're doing things a little bit differently. We shook it up a little bit. We're here live on a Saturday on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. You're going to get your same update that you normally do. We're going to jump into all the things you need to know. But afterwards, we're going to jump into the chat and say what's up to all of you guys in there. Good morning, everybody joining us here today. But let's give you a little bit of a recap if you guys haven't been keeping up with everything going on the live feeds. Kamu won HOH, and there was lots of scheming on trying to manipulate his nominations, but Kamu had some clear targets in mind with Jason, as well as Mallory and Lala as people who would end up on the block. But with some conversations, especially with Drew, the idea of coming up with a Jason backdoor was born, and there was still the mystery in the house of who cast that sole vote to keep Rome to stay. But as we know, it was Taylor. A little piece of catch-up from yesterday's update as I was getting that update for you. They were still talking, but I was like, I think the conversations are pretty much done, until we ended up getting Kamu, Chuck, even Yash up in the HOH room talking about the plans. And Kamu and Chuck both dropped the tool shed name to Yash. So he is pretty much aware of that name at this point. I don't know exactly how much he really caught up with it until maybe later. We'll get back to it. Also, another little piece of side note is we had the Have Not D ended up getting a little bit of candy up in Kamu's HOH basket. That is against the rule of being a have not, but D has broken the rules. I probably don't expect much to be brought up of this or any kind of punishment to go with it any further. There were cases on BB Can where a girl literally popped a gummy bear into her mouth, spit it right out. Whole house ended up on slop after that. So they've never been that strict here in the States, but that is just a little side note if that comes up later on. Also, we had Dexter coming on in, hitting that sub button. You might not know this. Me and you, we never have a final two. Thank you so much. Actually, just recently passed 23K subscribers here on this channel. Thank you guys all so much for doing that. I really do appreciate it. Back to the update. Kamu had to backtrack a little bit with Lyric, who originally he had promised safety to in his one-on-one after winning HOH. He told her that, listen, I might need you to go up as a pawn, but you're going to be safe. You won't go home. She kind of said, like, okay, but, like, it's really not fun to be on the block. You know, again, I kind of know what it's like, and I'd rather not do that again. He said, listen, you'll go up, but I'm going to use the veto on you if I win it, and so would other people. Like, people are going to use that veto if they have the chance to take you off. So don't worry, you're going to be fine. And you'd never be voted out because people love you. And, like, you know, the guys, they want to kind of keep you around, like, you know, you look good. So he said, like, listen, the plan is, you know, definitely going to be something that's going to be beneficial for everybody in the house, especially you. We kind of have a mutual target. She ended up guessing, like, that it's Jason, and he eventually, though, she even starts to kind of plead, and she's like, please, like, don't, like, pawns go home. Like, I just don't want to be up there. He promised her, though, like, listen, you're well too liked. You will not be going up on the block. Even eventually she's saying, like, there's other people, like, you can put other people up. Like, what about Barrett? Barrett could go up on the block, but Kamu then said he was too well liked and a threat to leave. So, like, the same He used the same logic on why she's a good pawn to go up, but Barrett, he's too liked. I mean, you're liked, but he's too liked. There's a difference. There's a difference. Kamu then also met up with Lala. Also had a pretty much a similar talk where he pretty much told her, like, listen, there's, just a lot going on. She kind of said, like, listen, we hadn't really talked about noms because I kind of figured you already had everything locked in. I figured you were pretty much aligned with Devens, Angela, D, Drew, Haley. She just starts listing off like everybody he's aligned with. um, and he's like, oh, wait, I didn't realize that you knew that much. But listen, but Lala, we love you. We love you. Everybody loves you. You cook, you clean, but there's times we're a little abrasive. And he went on about how we talked about there's been like the towels pranking, and she's been getting a little bit upset about that, and then just nagging people about cleaning up after themselves, which, listen, also maybe, hey, just clean up after yourself, and she doesn't have to tell you. That's a thing. And then also about her getting upset the other night when people were talking outside of the bedroom. We have Tommy's Lab coming on in with 5 gifted memberships to the community. Tommy's Lab, thank you so much. Make sure you guys have gifted memberships on as part of something that you can receive on the channel, because Tommy's Lab just came on in and hooked everybody up. Thank you so much, Tommy. I really, really appreciate the support. And if you got one, make sure you say thank you to Tommy. Where were we? So Kamu was explaining to Lala all about why she was going up on the block. And again, things like the towels, just nagging people to clean up after themselves. And then also about, being angry that people were waking her up at night and being too loud. And eventually he's just like, listen, you're probably somebody I'm looking at potentially putting on the block. Then we get Kamu and Mallory, very similar conversation where he tells her, listen, I've actually heard that you've put my name out there. I've also heard that you put Chuck and Haley's name out there. And that's not really cool with me. And she's like, no, I didn't say that. I promise I didn't say that. And he's like, listen, I've even heard that you would put Barrett's name out there. And she's like, what? But he pretty much, told her the same thing. Like, just because of everything I've heard and all this stuff, you probably are somebody I'm going to be looking at putting on the block. I just wanted to let you know. But he also told all 3 of them, like, listen, you're not the one that's my target. Like, I have a real target going on. He pretty much told them all that it's Jason at that point. But when he talked to Jason, he really gave him no hint at all that he was a target or a backdoor option. But Jason could definitely feel it coming. He could feel in his bones that something was going on, and he had his suspicions all day long. Mallory, after her conversation, pretty much completely broke down. Lyric was consoling her for a while, and she complained about, like, every week has just sucked here. So Mallory was not having a good time. Lala also, didn't take it great, but she ended up telling Angela that Kamu had heard all about the alliance with, her, Angela, Taylor, and Haley, and this caused Angela just to completely spiral a little bit, start to worry. She even wondered, she's like, why would D spill that? But here's the thing, it was Angela who did. Like, Angela's the one who told them about this alliance. Lala actually ended up blaming Haley, saying that she was an effing snake, and she told him everything. You gotta love Angela. The time capsule. It was time for the time capsule. And now listen, I don't have a special one for this. I have to get the special thing for our power here, but a power had been released, because with the time capsule, as the day went on, we realized no one had any kind of punishment that was announced. There was no sort of twist that was being shown. There was nothing weird that happened until eventually we see Devens celebrating and dancing on the cameras. He has come up with the Diamond Power of Veto. Currently, it's just the regular Veto, but we're going to get him a diamond one, and it's going to look really cool on our board. But Devens is your winner of the time capsule for week 2. Most of us kind of guessed that he would be one of the ones who was likely to win, along with D. Angela getting the first one, so she wasn't even an option. We later found out officially that it was Diamond Power of Veto because he ended up telling D all about him getting it. And everything that went involved with what he could do with it, how he actually got it. He said basically it's a Diamond Power of Veto. He can, on the Veto Ceremony, take himself or one other person off the block and then choose their replacement. He can do this now for 6 weeks. He told her how he ended up winning it. It was very similar to how Angela went in with the spinning room and all of the pictures up on the wall of the different screens that he would see of different punishment or with a power. And he actually said what he did is he focused in, realized the pattern, and that after a blue one, it would go 2 red one and then 2 blue one again. And he was able to nail the power. We also later on BB Unlocked got a list of all the powers and the punishment. I'm going to break that down here for you in just a bit. But he was able to secure the Diamond Power of Veto. They agreed, D and Devens, not to tell anybody, but they would use it to save themselves, and they would save it for when they actually needed it. Devens actually even talked to Barrett and Drew and told them like he did not get the power, so he is denying that as well. Who's this coming on in here? We had Edward coming on in with some super chats. Let me replay these if I can, because I did not hear those go off. Edward with the $2 super chat coming on in. Let's see what he had to say in this one.
This week is going to be dull as HL.
Edward thinking it's going to be a dull week. I don't know. I think there's going to be some interesting dynamics here that are at play. We can get kind of a clearer picture of where people are going to go moving forward. And then Edward had one more here for $5. Edward with another super chat. Let's hear what he had to say in this one.
Basically, unless Devin gets nominated, he's basically safe until jury. And that's the second best power to get out of the 6.
That is what it is looking like right now, is Devens will have a good shot at making jury because he has this Diamond Power of Veto he can use at any time now when he is on the block to either save himself, or if, let's say, D was in danger, he could take her off the block as well and then name the replacement nominee. It is a very strong power. We saw it all the way back in BB12. Yes, 12, I want to say, right? Was it 12? Yes, because 11 was Rachel's season. Or no, was it? No, that wasn't Rachel's season. 11 was Jeff and Jordan's season. 12 was Rachel's season. And it was Matt Hoffman who ended up getting this power back in the day. As for the powers and punishments that could be coming in the future, I do have a list here, and we can break down and take a look at all of the different powers and punishments that could potentially be in play. Let me just pull this up for you. So this was shared on BB Unlocked, all of our powers that could potentially come in play, including the Diamond Power of Veto, which Devens was the recipient of on yesterday's live feeds. We found out about that. But other powers include the replay power, which means the HOH can then play again in the next HOH competition. The mystery player, the alumni, will get to play in the veto competition on the winner's behalf. We saw that last season with Kamu getting that power, and Casey from BB20 came on in and was able to play for him in that competition as well. We got another super chat coming on in.
Seem like BB trying help the Survivor PPL to win.
So that is the question, right? A lot of people are not too happy with how this is turning on out. But again, it was kind of designed that way from the very start. Even when the veteran players, Angela, Devens, and Dee came on in, they were the only ones who were eligible to win the first HOH competition, which gives them a huge advantage, helps set the tone for the game, and be able to set themselves in some kind of a power structure moving forward. This vote was also heavily favored to anybody who was a returning player or had some kind of connection to the game, like Angela, Dee, and Devens, and that all makes a lot of sense. As for, I saw a lot of people saying that very specifically, Devens, it was set up for him to get the strongest power. We'll continue on breaking down these powers, but I saw a lot of people saying that. I don't think that's the case. I think he did just set it up where he was able to recognize the pattern, secure that he got a power, and then it's a 1 in 6 shot of getting these powers. It's like rolling a dice, and I think it was, pretty fair on him ending up on any of these potential powers. And you can't tell me that if they were going to set it up where it was rigged and Devens was getting a specific power, they wouldn't do the coin of destiny, because he's already known for doing the coin with Mr. Beast on Survivor. We got another super chat coming on in here.
I would want to win the coin of destiny to take Ho.
Hey, see, there you go. Edward there wants to win the coin just to take on home. All right, another breakdown here of all of our powers. Like I said, we have the replay where the HOH can play again. The mystery player, where an alumni will play in the veto on your behalf. A have not pass, probably the worst power of them all. We have the bribe, not like last year with Zach, where he could give 10K to the HOH and he would come off the block. This bribe is for 5K to get them to do something, right? It might be nominate this player, get me off the block, use the veto on me, things along those lines. They could give the 5K to a player. If they agreed, they would get the 5K and they would have to do that act in the game. Again, the Diamond Power of Veto, which Devens got, he can use that at the nomination ceremony to take himself or another player off the block. He then gets to name the replacement nominee. And then the coin of destiny. Call a coin flip, and if you call it correctly, you take over the HOH for that week. We saw this in BB28 when they had kind of that casino thing where you could go in and like play a game to try and win a power and all that stuff. The punishments. We also have a list here of all the punishments that are going to be in play. The punishments include the Lord of the Latrine, also from BB28. I believe that was DX who had that one. The Hamazon, which was from BB20 with Fessy, where just like different packages will show up and things like that. Hard-boiled detective, that's the one that Angela was just done with. That's why it is grayed out there. The camp guide, where you kind of set up the campsite. You have to make some hot dogs. I believe that is the one from Alex Owl from BB20 or BB19. Adam and Eve, where you end up kind of shackled together. That is BB16, I believe, was Cody and Victoria had that punishment. And then the original red unitard from BB8, it was Jen who originally had that one. That was a few other seasons where they came on out as well. So those will be our punishments. This year, these will be our powers. Like I said, we also now know that Devens won the Diamond Power of Veto. Getting Melon back into things from yesterday, though, after we found out about Devens getting the power, Kamu ended up putting up his nominations, and he did go with the plan from Drew with Lala, Lyric, and Mallory. And things were pretty quiet after this. It wasn't too crazy. We have another super chat coming on in.
The unitard.
Tommy says, give me the unitard. But things were pretty low-key. It wasn't too crazy. There wasn't a lot of drama like we had last week with the nominations. Things went fairly smoothly. And as we know, there was the back door. We did get Lala going with Taylor, telling her about everything that's going on. And she thinks that, Dee is kind of the mastermind, or maybe even Angela's behind this all as well, with just everything that was going on. Jason ended up saying to the cameras that, he knows that Devin has the power. You could see he's chilling. He's not doing what you would think he would be doing. He's definitely got that power. Jason could tell. Lala, though, actually ended up ratting out Jason to Kamu, saying that, he kind of knows that the backdoor is coming. But Kamu says, like, listen, he knows it doesn't matter. Like, it changes nothing. Angela also tried to go to Kamu and kind of clear up things with the Honor Society because she was kind of freaking out about all of this. But that all was pretty smooth as well. Eventually, we get Drew, who heads on up there, and he kind of wonders, like, hey, do you think Jason ended up getting the power? Because Devens has been denying it to everybody, even to Angela. He's not giving it up that he has the power. And they were kind of wondering, maybe Jason has it, right? And if he does, like, do we still end up putting him up? And Kamu's like, nah, listen, if he ends up having the power, we just still go through with it. Then we flush the power and we don't have to worry about it going forward. Who's that coming on in? Is that Messianic coming on in? Thank you so much for becoming a member to the channel. I appreciate it. I'm gonna throw that final HOH too. That first part of the HOH, I'm throwing it to you. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Where were we? Lala, like I said, she ratted out Jason to Kamu and all that stuff, and that really kind of ended up being fine. But Jason, again, he was really feeling that this backdoor kind of thing was coming. He could tell. He was kind of stewing there for a little bit, and I almost was like waiting for him to kind of pop off. And he doesn't really pop off, but he does go to D and says he feels like he knows he's getting backdoored, and he could just tell that Haley's being shady to him. He ends up pitching that, hey, maybe Devens, Angela, you should keep me around because I can go and get rid of Chuck, Kamu, and Haley, and I can take care of that for you because Drew and Barrett, they're not going to do that. You need somebody who's, going to be the guy who protect you. Let me knock them out of the game for you. Let me be your shield. Jason also then ended up pitching to Haley that, you know what? I think Yash runs his mouth a little bit too much, and that Devens actually told Jason that Drew was in this 4-season alliance with Melody, Lyric, and Rome. So Jason just kind of stirred the pot up a little bit. He knows that things are coming, so he's just trying to see what can stick. Now, if Jason hadn't had his blowups earlier, this is something that maybe could potentially stir up enough trouble where maybe he would be able to throw off a backdoor plan. But the whole reason he's being backdoored is because they know he's kind of messy and does these things. So I don't think it's really going to end up being something that's going to try and save him this week. We also ended up getting Drew, who was talking to Lala about, how things are going on their side. And, he does kind of agree with Lala that, if they do end up getting house guest choice, it's probably a good idea for Lala to pick Jason, right? So they end up saying that, hey, maybe after the renom, we'll form an alliance. And they also say that there is definitely a mastermind behind Kamu's HOH, kind of implying that it was Angela again. We also ended up getting a cool little cam talk with Barrett, where he ended up chatting about how he's feeling with the game. And he said he will do anything and he loves anything that gets Chuck, Haley, and Kamu out of this game. He feels like that is better for him if they are gone. And he said, F the tool shed. He doesn't care about the tool shed unless it's advantage to him, right? Like if it works for him, which in this case it is working for him. I love the tool shed. Like F the tool shed, but it actually is working out for me right now, so I love the tool shed. Just to be clear, but he said that's not as fun, and he said all these powers, it's kind of going to be crazy. What's going on with those powers? Devin says he doesn't have one, so that's kind of making him worry. And then other than that, it was a fairly quiet night. People ended up going to bed here and there. Kamu actually had several times where he was just kind of walking around eating snacks. I was like, bro, if you're going to be up this late at night, at least talk to the camera and like tell me about your game or something like that. Don't just eat snacks. But that is how things went. Let's take a quick look at our alliance chart here, just to give you a reminder of everything that has been going on. Norma coming on in with the $20 super chat. Norma, thank you so much. That is so generous. Nothing to say. Norma just said, hey, listen, I want to show my support. Norma, you are incredibly kind. Thank you so much. Our alliance chart here, made by the great Big Brother Junkie over on Twitter and over on Blue Sky. Go check them out. They do great alliance charts here with all of the alliances kind of in play and everything kind of going down. I have to check if they have a new one out or not. But we have the Tool Shed with which Barrett, again, just said F the Tool Shed, but also if it's doing good for me, I love the Tool Shed. Like if they, we got to play it by ear on the Tool Shed. But that is, the crossovers and the red quarter all coming together for that. Drew and Kamu's, their kind of working relationship. Drew has a lot of say over what Kamu is kind of thinking. Kamu trusts in what Drew thinks in this game. And he was really the one who kind of pushed him to that Jason backdoor idea instead of just putting Jason up on the block right away. So definitely something to watch out for that as well. Like I said, Drew and Barrett, for a while there, I thought they were in the best spot in the game. We can even take a look here. I do have to update everything with our allegiance chart. I had Drew and Barrett at the top, but after a lot that had gone down, it seemed like their games had been tampered a bit. I do think it's kind of bouncing back up. I don't think they're at the top of the house anymore. I do think they're a little bit lower, but at the moment, I think Kamu might have taken over that spot as being in the best position in the house right now. Another super chat coming on in.
My name is David, watching in Canada, live in TX.
David from Canada, thank you for watching, but you live in Texas. Love to hear it. Thank you so much. And then we got the Boy coming on in, hitting that sub button. Boy, thank you so much. We now have a final two. Don't tell anybody. You might hear some things in chat about other final twos that are floating around there, but I promise you, it is not true. Me and you, Boy, we're going to the end. It's gonna be the Alliance. We're going to the end. Nobody else needs to know. It's just gonna be me and you. I promise. Thank you so much for hitting that sub button. But yeah, that is kind of where we have the alliance chart, the allegiance chart. I have to do some work on it. But that was where we were at before the HOH, and now with Kamu winning HOH, I think he's really put himself in a really good spot in the house this week. Him taking out Jason, while it would be a good move overall because Jason is a very good competitor, he's a wild card, he could take a shot at Kamu. I also think that there is a potential that if you wanted to pull something, you could pull Jason in. I've said this before. Give the outcasts a home, and they'll be pretty loyal to you. I don't think Jason necessarily is the perfect example for this. I don't know if you want to do that, but I could see a play where it's like, hey, why are you doing other people's dirty work? If everybody's going to be putting Jason up on the block, why do I got to do it? And if I don't do it, that maybe saves me when he does eventually win an HOH, and then he takes shots at people that I can't take the shots at, and I'm safe that week. So I think there could be a little bit of a play there if Kamu wanted to do it, but it does seem like that will be the shots that he's taking this week. What's that? Tommy coming in with a $20 super chat.
Our final two deal. I might have to backdoor my closest ally.
Whoa,
Flush.
Tommy, we're good. No, we're good. Tommy, thank you so much for the super chat. Our final two, we are still locked in, I promise. Like I said, if you hear anything else in the house, you just come to me first. It's not true. It's not true. I promise. We're good. But we're going to jump on into the chat. But I want to talk to you guys of what you are thinking about everything going on with the potential Jason backdoor. Do you think this is a good idea if, Kamu does go through with this? If so, why? Who will end up winning at the power of veto? Who's somebody that you want to see win that and save themselves? or potentially keep themselves off the block like Jason would be. And, you know, let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about all that. Like I said, if you are also new here, hit that subscribe button. We do daily live feed updates here all season long, first thing in the morning.